Hey guys, it's Lexi here. Welcome back to my channel, Nature's Ruby. So today I wanted to introduce you all to the first saltwater fish that I ever had, which was a little Watchman Goby who has a big personality. And initially I got him from a family that was rehoming their tank, and so when we brought him home, he was very shy, but he warmed up to us pretty quickly and has been full of surprises ever since. So I'm going to give you guys some info on Oscar, my Watchman Goby, as well as some of the mythological and spiritual meanings behind the Watchman Goby. I actually got Oscar from a mom whose son used to co-own him with some roommates, and I guess when they split their ways, little Oscar here needed a home. And so he came to us in a little 10-gallon tank, and now he has upgraded to a beautiful 65-gallon setup. Now, when he first came to us, I expected him to be like a bit shy, but what I didn't expect is that he would actually have a relationship with my cat. So he was a bit shy at first, and my cat would come to the tank, and I noticed that whenever she'd go and sit next to the tank, he would come out and watch her. And when she'd leave, he'd go back in and hide. So whenever she'd come near, he'd come out, and you know, they had their little relationship going on, and then eventually he would come out and watch me too. And so he's very aware of his environment and what's going on around him, and I feel like he considered us his community at the time. He's watching me at this very moment. He is definitely an interesting little guy. Actually, speaking about him being a little guy, there was this time that he was his normal yellow color throughout the day, and by the nighttime he had turned this white color, and I honestly thought something was wrong with him, and I was like panicking. And so I googled it, and it turns out that Watchman Goby actually can switch their genders, so they can go from male to female and even back to male if need be. And he did actually. He was from this yellow to white, and then by the next day he was back to his yellow color. So I guess he was just trying it out, but apparently they can switch genders according to their environments. Like if a female is needed for breeding, they can actually just switch into that female. And coincidentally, I actually have a clown Goby, so maybe he was, you know, I don't know, thinking the clown Goby was his same species and trying to mate or something. I don't know. But that was like the only difference in the tank that I can say that maybe could have made him switch. But now he's back. I guess once he realized that that was a different species, he switched back. But it just made me think about how fluid and adaptable nature truly is, and it just reminded me how transformation isn't just about survival, but it's how we adapt to the world around us in incredible ways. Now, let's get into who his best friend is. So, in the wild, gobies typically form relationships with pistol shrimps, and they dig burrows together, and the Watchman Goby will be a guardian and keep watch. But that's what's really interesting about my Goby, is that we don't have a pistol shrimp in my tank, but we have a peppermint shrimp. And he has formed a very similar relationship with this peppermint shrimp. They have a very interesting way of coexisting. This unique bond actually reminds me that nature doesn't always follow the rules, and sometimes the most unexpected friendships are the strongest. In mythology, fish often represent wisdom, adaptability, and transformation, and to me, my Watchman Goby definitely embodies these. In some cultures, fish that change genders are symbolic for the balance between masculine and feminine energies, kind of like the yin-yang philosophy of duality and harmony. So to me, my Goby represents resilience and change, and watching him adapt, bond with unexpected tank mates, and even physically transform reminds me of how nature is full of surprises. He went from a humble 10-gallon tank to this thriving 65-gallon setup, and he is like the founding father of this tank. He was the first saltwater fish that I ever had, and thanks to the experience he's given me, we've built upon that. Now he has a whole world that he watches after and guards, not just his little section here with his peppermint shrimp lady. So that's the story of my first saltwater fish, Oscar, the Watchman Goby. I never expected to learn so much from a little fish, but that just goes to show you how much animals can really teach you about the world around you. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to stay updated on our upcoming videos, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!